Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Creative Mind. I am your host, Byron Craig, and today you are in for a very special treat. My guest today, she's a mermaid. She's an artist. She's a poet. She's a poet because she knows it. She is repping H-Town, Houston, Texas. I mean, it's always this constant Houston-Dallas battle, but it's okay. We love her anyway because she's from Houston. Is my friend, the greatest person who has actually not even the greatest. Well, she's the greatest person, but she's the first person who I bought art from my house,
and it was hand delivered.
And it was hand delivered.
He was the first. I think you were the first person to buy from me.
I was.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, and it even came with a handwritten note that I still have. You can find her work online for now, but I tell you, she's going to blow up. I give you, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my friend Courtney Bighorse.
Hey, y'all.
Bighorse like a little pony.
Like a large pony. Little Pony was my nickname all growing up, though, because I was the youngest.
Really?
Yeah, Little Pony, for sure. Small Pony, Little Pony.
Dang.
Yeah.
Your family just loves you, huh?
They gave me all the character building they possibly could.
I love it. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for doing this. I really, really appreciate you.
And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Let's just get into this thing. Tell everybody, because not many people know you. Tell everybody who Courtney Bighorse is. I almost called you by your artist name because I'm not used to calling you Courtney Bighorse.
I know. Well, nobody really knows my last name because I only go by my middle name on social media. So you're really just tapping into the newness.
We just before we started, I was like, "Do you want me to call you Courtney Massey?" And she was like, "Or do you want me to call you Courtney?" And it was a whole thing. And you know what? We went with Bighorse.
We went with that. Yeah. Well, owed to my grandpa's last name, my daddy's last name. We're gonna go ahead and bring some good to it.
I love
more
it.
Good to it.
More goodness, more graciousness.
More goodness. Right.
Tell us, so I know this, but I know people out there, they're going to be like, Bighorse. It's such an eclectic last name. Where does it come from?
So I'm Native American. We're with the Osage tribe. So if y'all have seen Killers of the Flower Moon, that movie is about my tribe. That's my family. Know those people.
Really?
And yeah.
See, I didn't know it was Osage, but that's so dope.
Yeah, we have a insane past and history, and like every other Native American tribe does. Ours is just now in movie form, like some other tribes are, and now we get to showcase what our tribe is, because a lot of people haven't heard of Osage. But
yeah, that is true. It's you got your normal Cherokees. I'm not even gonna butcher it and act like I know any other ones. I did know Osage though. I will say I knew Osage.
I mean, it's everywhere has like a street named Osage. Just most people just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But
Osage County. I know that's a county somewhere.
Yeah, it is a county.
Yeah.
It is a county.
So I knew, but
there's relevance.
There is. I peep game, but that's really dope. You're one of the few people that I know who's actually. Are you full-blooded Native American?
No. So my grandpa was full-blooded. My dad's half. I'm a quarter.
Okay. See?
So
there we go.
But I am a card-carrying Native American. So I have the benefits. I am of a tribe.
What are the benefits like for Native Americans?
Yeah, well, I didn't get to experience free school. I think I had I did have the option to do it, but the hoops I had to jump through with the school I was at to get them was absolutely ridiculous.
Really?
So, so my tribe was very quick to say yes to the money, but my school was like, oh, they stamped the seal a millimeter off. Oh, they signed the signature like 3 millimeters off the line. So therefore it doesn't count. And I mean, I had to go
Wow.
through that process like 3 times. And lo and behold, I didn't get to experience free school because of that stuff. Um,
Man,
and then I was also,
they stay just screwing people over.
hey, the Art Institute of Houston, all my school was paid for. So they got shut down for doing the BS stuff and bogus stuff that they were doing. So all in all, even with the crap,
Yeah.
I still got refunded for the stuff that I did pay for.
Really?
Oh yeah, Art Institute like went under. Like they went down big
Really?
time. But we also get like medical benefits. Like we technically get like a medical benefits card that counts as insurance. So if we ever needed to not have insurance, or we had to, like if we needed to show that we had insurance, we could use our medical card. And it has like an allotted amount on it every year that we get to use for any sort of medical, anything, doctor's visits. And then of course we get like money for, how much blood we have, and there's little things, but it's not that much. People might think it's a lot, but I promise you, from what it used to be, it's pennies now.
Dang. Thanks, Joe Biden. I'm just kidding.
Joe, I was like, it goes even further back than that.
Thanks, Donald Trump. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I know someone
political.
Someone will get real mad at that.
Be careful. Tread lightly. We want your podcast to thrive.
Thank you. Blessings on you, because I surely know that someone would get very mad about that.
Yeah.
We try and stay. We stay away from politics here.
Yeah. Politics, religion. What's the other one? Sexual orientation. Yeah, we stay away from.
I don't really. I mean, the religion stuff. I don't mind talking about it. I'm like, I love Jesus, so I don't mind talking about it. Half my guests talk about it all the time, so I'm like, hey, it is what it is.
I read the Bible now, so
do you really?
I'm here for it. Yeah,
I love that.
It took a while, but I'm here for it now.
It took a while. Why you say it took a while?
Because I was so anti for the longest, and I had people come into my life, and I got to read a couple verses and see how it correlated so well with science, and now I enjoy it. I enjoy reading like the correlations of quantum physics and the Bible, and there's so many cool, they are completely meshed. Like
really?
There's so much proof in science that's proof to stuff that the Bible says, and it's like energy and everything. It's pretty dope. And that's kind of what got me sticking through it.
Really? Yeah, that's fascinating. Mm-hmm. I've never thought about quantum science. Is that what you said?
Yeah, quantum physics, but yeah, any kind of theoretical science.
Yeah. I never just equated that together. I could talk to you about like Bible stuff like forever, just because I just had a real recent revelation about it. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about you as the artist. We can talk about that later.
Right.
So back to you telling everybody about you. So Native American, what else? Tell the world, who is Courtney?
She is a animal nature enthusiast, artist. I love to do digital art, any kind of cartoon craziness. This is all my little mini gallery. I love poetry because, anybody who knows me, they get to see my little tough shell on the outside, but then you get to see my poetry and they're like, oh, dang, I didn't know you were deep.
This is very true. I think, honestly, that's how we became friends.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how we became friends, but whether it was from your page, but I know I did see your poetry page, and I was like, yo, hold up, time out. This chick can write.
Thank you. That was coming out as writing, putting my poetry out there was probably one of the strongest things I've ever done. That took forever because I've always written, I've always enjoyed writing. But to share with the public was like, oh, I'm never showing that side of myself to strangers.
Yeah.
And now Lil Mama posts not often. I mean, I went through a stint of just not creating at all for Feels like years.
Why?
Like um, I mean, I was creating some stuff. I wasn't posting a lot of it. Like I was doing gifts for people. But for the last few years, I mean, I thought I was going to be married and starting a family. I was in a long-term relationship and I was focused more on the house than I was, my creative self. So I think creativity and art got put on the back burner while I was trying to get home ready for life.
Yeah.
But, that has since ended. So therefore, and it's crazy. It's insane like how quickly that creative side just like came back. I mean, the poetry flew like freaking I was just like, oh, when you're in a breakup, your heart's feeling however, I mean, those words just kept coming and coming and coming. I mean, I have like 4,000 notes of just like one-liners that I haven't
Wow.
even like finished. And I'm like, yo, but the creative side's definitely come back. I mean, I started drawing almost immediately. Like, I mean, within probably 2 weeks after, it was just like settling. Like, I was no longer commuting from city to city, trying to be home and be supportive and do all this other stuff. And once I just kind of like stayed grounded, it was like, oh crap, there's my creative side that I've been missing. And he had even mentioned I wasn't doing art anymore, and he was 100% right.
Yeah. What was that process like? Because I'm more curious. Like, so like let's start with the poetry. How, like, what's that process like of you writing and getting an idea and going like, hey, this is what my heart feels? Because like, I mean, your stuff, some of it rhymes, some of it doesn't. Like there's haikus, and I mean, like there's like different versions of poetry, but like how do you tap into that and even feel the vulnerability of essence to just put that out in the public?
That's that last question. That's something I'm still asking myself to this day. But I think it comes from when you're hurt or when you're in love, like sometimes like words are so hard to express in the moment. And I feel like they just stay trapped in you. And so then it's like they're literally fighting to get out. So it's almost like those words coming to me is effortless. And so I'll get these like one-liners, like, and then especially now, like in No Contact, I mean, a lot of it's not nice, but I'm not saying anything to him. So it immediately goes straight to the phone. And then, sometimes it just flows. Sometimes it's a song hits you, and I'll just be listening to a playlist. And next thing you know, like a lyric hits me and I take it. And next thing you know, I'm going and I have scrolling just, I mean, just, and sometimes I just like write like a bunch of stuff out and then I go back and I edit it. And there's like one line that just really hits me and I'll take that line and create something else. But like metaphors, they usually come, like I have some poems that are like almost completely metaphoric, and those come from usually writing it out and then turning it into a metaphor so it's not so obvious as to what, or personal to the person I'm writing it about.
Yeah.
Because I'm very secretive about my life. And so I don't want to make it so far out there that people know I'm just like zinging at them, but
fair enough.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered becoming like a songwriter?
That's so hard because let me tell you, whenever I was a kid, y'all remember like Weird Al Yankovic?
Oh yes.
I was obsessed with him.
For
and
real?
Like my favorite thing to do was like write parodies of songs, like goofy parodies of songs. So since I was like a child, like elementary school, I've been remixing songs. So like that's something that I'd probably like really, really enjoy doing. But like as far as like writing my own song, like I don't think I'm musically inclined. Like I could write you a verse, but to write like a hook and a chorus, I mean, I could probably write one of those too, but putting it all together and having the music and everything, like that's so hard. But if you give me a song, oh, I can rewrite that and turn it into something either real or hilarious.
Okay. I only asked because I was I felt the unction to ask. Like, I mean, I'm just being honest. I felt the unction to ask because like because I know that you are by far probably the biggest J. Cole fan.
You
That
have no clue.
I mean the biggest. I mean, if it's not on your Instagram story, if it's not a story about your dog or your snakes, it's probably something about J. Cole.
Jake, that man is so just genius. Like I just respect him on all levels.
I
Like
yeah,
that man is special.
indeed,
That man is
indeed.
special.
Jermaine Cole is one of the goats for real. Like
Ah,
that, and that's why I asked, because like the way that you were describing the way that your process is for doing poetry was, I literally just could see how he writes and how he speaks about the way that he writes and how he pulls from his experiences just as you pulled from your experiences. And literally, the next logical step is take poem to artist, and you're already an artist, but I don't know if you can sing or not, but
not even a little bit. No,
hey,
no. When I tell you not musically inclined, I can't dance. I can't sing. I can barely play an instrument.
what
I can read
instrument?
music. So whenever I was like in once again junior high, so this is where the barely comes in. I was in percussion, but once again we are hitting barely. I could go ham on those timpanis.
Yeah.
I was the only one who could read music, so I was stuck on the xylophone a lot.
Dang.
But no, it was not my calling.
Hey,
Mm-mm.
if Angelina Jolie can learn how to sing like Maria Callas, the famous opera singer, you can learn to sing too.
I just wonder how much of that was editing, because let
Oh,
me tell you,
it's not. It wasn't. I actually, weirdly, I watched the Hollywood Reporter of her with, I think it was she was with Demi Moore, Zendaya. Who what's the chick, her name is on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. Yeah, anyway, Zendaya. It was basically she was talking about Zoe Saldana and what is the woman? Her name starts with a T. It's gonna bother me.
Tiana Taylor?
No, it's a British lady. She was in what is, okay, now that movie's blanking me too. Dang. This is really embarrassing.
The point need be
they were all talking about her experiences about that movie, how she learned how to actually sing. Like I don't know if she could sing beforehand, but she took 7 months and learned how to sing.
That is insane. I mean, and I've heard it. I've seen like the little voice coaches on like TikTok, like train these little girls up and
yeah,
do wonders. And I've seen like the little before and afters. And I mean, I've taught people how to draw from like zero skills to now being able to like,
really,
draw something that they could. Yeah. My friend Karen, like, like she's also had other friends help her. She has a friend named Evie, who's also an incredible artist. But both of us tag teaming her, like helping her learn how to draw. Like she's decent now. Like she's drawing things and exactly what they are, and she's learning. And that's from a very minimal skill level to now she is definitely progressed.
How long did that take?
I would say she started showing progress in like two sessions, like just learning, like
Really?
just finding the shapes. Mm-hmm. But I mean, now I think we started doing that like last year. And to now, I mean, she'll sit there and she'll draw something and, shows you the picture and you're just like, yeah, that's that picture. It's not perfect, but it's still like,
yeah,
she's progressing at such a rate where pretty soon, like she keeps practicing at it. Like she'll be great.
Jeez. That's a testament to you as a teacher too. And Evie, shout out Evie and
Shout
Karen.
out to Evie.
That's a testament to y'all as teachers.
I think that's the thing though, is it's truly just finding the shapes and the negative spaces. And once you learn to do that, you're on a one track. So I'm sure there's some little easy cookie cutter step for becoming a singer. But let me tell you, no one has taught me that. So until then, songwriting will be if somebody wants to use my verse, they can use my verse.
See?
But as far as that being no.
Yeah. Don't shortchange yourself. You got this. You got this.
Ghostwriter, baby. Drake can call me.
Ew. No, not Drake.
Look, Drake needs help right now. Kendrick is murdering him. Actually, everyone.
Everybody
in a rap battle is annihilating him.
Everybody is. I see. The thing is, I think he just needs to be honest and be vulnerable with people. Be like, listen, we all know that I'm not the greatest writer. I don't write my own stuff, but like, come on.
But I'm a hit maker, and give me my credit. Like, he is a hit maker to the end of days.
That is true.
Kendrick, who is a lyricist and was not necessarily like the biggest hit maker, baby. He said, okay, I'm going to give you hit after hit after hit after hit after hit.
Smashed my man.
Oh, my God.
So much so that J. Cole was like, I don't want none of this. Y'all have this.
He said, I'm grown. I'm grown.
I'm going to let y'all have this. I got children and a wife at the crib.
Right. And I'd rather focus on that. Don't put me back in the studio.
Nope.
But my Delete Later came out of that. And let me tell you, it was a beautiful, beautiful album.
That album was fire, though. That album was fire. Good. So your poetry comes from a place of pain and vulnerability when you share it with the public. What about your art? When did you start becoming an artist, a painter? Like, where did that love of creativity originate?
I have been drawing since I could hold a pencil.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I used to draw seahorses every single day. Like, you gave me a project and you were like, make something out of this letter. I don't care what letter it was. I was turning it into a seahorse somehow, some way.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I've always enjoyed drawing. I've always loved like copying, tracing. I mean, anything. You told me to make an image. I was making an image. That's like for as long as I could remember. Like Lisa Frank. Man, I drew those little aliens, those little peace sign aliens in the spaceship. I was drawing for people, all those like binder covers people wanted, like cartoon characters. Like that's been a thing since I can't even remember not drawing or not painting.
So was your parents like artists, drawers? Like, but where I'm trying to like pinpoint, like, where did that specifically, you just one day picked up a pencil and was like, naturally gifted at this?
Yeah, my dad, I mean, his handwriting is absolutely atrocious. I mean, his love you, Dad, but golly, his pen skills, whoo, baby, like, it is an accomplishment when we can read what he wrote on the grocery list. So thank God for digital technology now, because it writes it for him. My mom's side, she's creative. My mom can draw pretty well. But she's not like, she wouldn't consider herself an artist. She's an artist when it comes to cutting hair. She can cut hair like nobody's business.
Say word.
But her brother, on the other hand, my Uncle John, he worked for Disney. And so he did character design. So he did a lot of he drew a lot of the characters for a lot of movies. I'm pretty sure he did I know for a fact he did Lilo and Stitch.
Wow.
He's done characters for, I don't even want to lie and tell you like what movies, but we have tons of Disney movies that you know and love. My uncle was 100% a part of that.
Wow. That's amazing.
On the drawing process. Oh yeah.
Have you ever considered wanting to do something like that?
Yeah, that's what I went to school for. So I went to school. I told my uncle was very much like a loner. So he didn't really talk to the family too much, but I met him for the first time, or maybe not the first time, but one of my very first conversations with him, I pretty much told him, I'll be a better artist than you.
Oh, that's cockiness right there.
I was an arrogant little bastard. But he and he didn't really talk too much to the family, but he took to me and he sat there and drew Lilo and Stitch with me on the dang tablecloth for that whole time, that whole visit. And when I got to college, that's what I thought I was going to do was animation, until I went through the school, and that was Art Institute of Houston. And I learned very quickly, like, your first classes are all drawing, like modeling. It's all very hands. Everything's pencil and paper. Everything's like hands in clay, like you're doing so much fun, cool stuff. And then you go to Photoshop where you're learning how to draw in Photoshop where everything's cool. And then it immediately goes to coding. And I
Really?
learned very quickly, like all the stuff that we learn in those prereqs, which is what I enjoy doing, was not this career anymore. Everything's on the computer. Everything is 3D modeling. Everything is like now drawing on by using codes.
Really?
And I was like, ooh, no, 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 no. And I remember my uncle even saying, like, that's whenever he fell out of it. He was no longer in love with it. Like when they started going to 3D stuff, he was like, nope, I'm done. And now from seeing it in school, I exactly see why. Because you're no longer getting to be that pencil to paper creative.
What?
And so from there, I switched to graphic design where I thought I was going to be able to do more digital art. But money issues came in and we left that school before I graduated.
Mm. I didn't know that there was coding involved with animation, with 3D animation.
I mean, it's not like coding as you know, like website design, but
Right.
it's a lot of like learning the keys to these animation programs because everything was done. Oh, I can't even remember what those programs were called, but I mean, nothing feels like that hand in clay or that pencil on paper. Like everything's very much like you have to know which tool to click and which did it. And there is a lot of coding in the sense of like how to make these things move. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was just not a fan. Like pinching and pulling tools, like whenever you just know how to do it with your hands and learning how to do it with a mouse or with a keyboard, like that transition was just not, it didn't feel real and it didn't feel fun.
Yeah. It seems as if that would take the joy and the love of the art form out of it, and it just makes it more black and white kind of versus like black and white versus like colorful. I mean, if that makes sense.
It's like using like a middleman. Like I'm now no longer touching my project. I'm no longer like being in a sense intimate with my art. I have to have this whole extra middleman to click and do this button. And then it's like, it's just not as easy. Like, okay, I know which way I need to pull and tug this clay, but how do I tell the computer what I need to do? And so it's very frustrating for me as an artist because I'm just like, why am I telling this computer what to do when I could literally just have this ball of clay and do it myself? And so sense. I don't want to, and that's my selfish stuff. It's like, I don't want to learn how to tell a computer how to do it. I just want to do it. I just want to create. And I think that's when I learned like, I'm probably not on the side of making a career out of my art in the sense of like working for somebody or doing whatever. Like I'd probably fall on the lines of like a fine artist where I just kind of like just push out art that I enjoy doing and not try to categorize it as animation or graphic design or whatever. So
that's interesting point that you, man, that actually that I have like a billion thoughts, but that's really interesting. Like, cause like when you actually put your hands to something, you said the word intimate and it becomes, that art form becomes intimate, whether you're a photographer, a videographer, a sculptor, an artist on canvas or digitally. Like when you put your hands in it, it is a really intimate process. But if you're working for somebody like a Pixar or a Disney, and I'm not saying that's anything wrong like that because your uncle did that, that's not yours. It's not something that you came up with and created. It's just like you said, a middleman or a machine, and you're just like a wheel in this cog, and you're just doing it.
And don't get me wrong, like I look at my style of like characters and cartoons that I draw, and I would love to work for like, I could see myself doing like character design. Like that's something that's still very fresh. Where character design, I would still get to do, I would still get to have a creative process. And so working for someone like Disney Cartoon Network, like those characters fit my style. So therefore I feel like it'd be easy to character design for them. But, you know, I wasn't getting job offers for that, you know, in college. I was getting jobs for like video games and can you build this big gun? And I'm like, no, but I can draw a really cute ice cream. Like, I didn't want to do realistic, like, character design, like
Yeah.
Tomb Raider style. Like, that's not me. We do this goofy stuff, like pears with, I don't know, with thongs, and they're strip hairs.
Strip bears. Yo, so you did a series, some people know, but you did an entire series. I mean, this had to be 2 years ago.
It was longer than that. It was right during, it was right after COVID and during COVID.
Oh, don't tell me it was 5 years ago, because that's insane. Okay.
Or at least, yeah. Oh no, yeah, we're hitting like 5, because my first one was put out in like 2019. My first one was done 2019.
My God, that means the last time we did a podcast, which is coincidentally February of 2020, because I was there shooting a UFC with my friend Angela, and then we did our podcast at your house. It doesn't seem like 5 years.
Oh, no. Oh, well, you know what? So if that was 2020, yeah. So it was literally 1 month, maybe 2 months after you and I did the podcast that character that started coming out, that I started putting those characters out.
Jeez.
It was like 2 months.
I can't believe that's been, it doesn't seem like that. Honestly, when I was thinking about it, I was like, yo, I haven't seen you. I mean, we chat every now and again, but I haven't seen you for 5 years. That's wild.
That's insane.
Insane. Man, I don't know where time went. It's like that whole 2020 to 24, just some amorphous.
Don't get me started.
Wild. So is that something you still want to do, is be a creative? Like, do that? That's the end all be all goal?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of just letting things unfold as they will. I should probably never admit this as an artist, especially one that's up and coming. But I hate doing commissions more than anything.
What?
So loathe.
Why?
Because it is, once again, working for somebody else. It's once again putting somebody's ideas on paper when I have so many of my own. Like, I mean, my brain is constantly like, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. And then like when money comes into a play where it's like, oh, I need to do this commission so I can make a couple $100 extra bucks. I don't want to do art for money.
Dang. You might be a rarity saying, I don't want to do art for money.
But I do want my art, my personal art, my art that I create. I do want it to make money at one point. But I know that process is going to take, it's a hope and a dream is all I can say. Like, but to find something, a style, I mean, I feel like I do have a style, but to find something that I can tap into that fits the consumer market, where I'm not having to bend my style, go against stuff that I like doing or not like doing, and really just find something that, consumers enjoy and that they'll buy. And I can just print it off and call it a day. That would be so nice.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm also a flight attendant, so I don't need to worry about my income.
Hey, the cool thing about that is that you can travel the entire globe and literally just carry your art anywhere.
And honestly, like, this job gives me so much freedom. Like, I have more days off than most people. Pay's not great right now. It is not kept up with inflation. But
what job has?
No, right. But I get tons of days off. I get free flights. My parents get free flights. My best friend gets free flights. Like, I get amazing 401k. I have pretty great healthcare. And let me tell you, being an artist, I'd be doing all of that on my own. So if that means I have to go up, 20,000 feet, 30,000 feet and slay drinks for a while and deal with some angry people, and then I get to go sit on my jump seat and draw on my iPad and create more stuff and then go home and chill with my dog, like, I'll take that trade-off.
It's not a bad trade-off at all.
It's it's not. I mean, that's why I get to go to Indonesia.
Shout out. Gotta love
So
it. By the time this comes out, you might as well be in Indonesia.
I probably will be.
Probably will be.
I'm not, so if I don't repost, it's because I'm on a boat.
She's just in the middle of nowhere, diving in the ocean.
I'll get back to it. Goes back to the mermaid thing.
Hey, that's why, again, you are a mermaid. So, like, you as an artist, you want to be able to sell your art your way, your style. Have you ever considered or ever thought that this is like playing devil's advocate, but have you ever considered and thought that that portion of it is selfish of sorts? Because your gifting is amazing. You're an amazing artist.
100%. I know it's selfish. I know it's so selfish. And let me tell you, I love it. Like, I feel like my passions should be selfish.
Of course.
So yeah, I don't feel any kind of way about being selfish about it, because let me tell you, I would choose that selfishness over absolutely murdering my passions to draw somebody's, I don't know, tattoo sleeve of angels versus demons. Like, no, I'm not doing it.
You mean I can't get a custom omae custom sleeve tattoo?
Yeah, pick your cartoon characters and I'll fill it in with like heart stars and horseshoes, clovers, and balloons. You let me know. I got you. You want an old mama say custom sleeve? By all means. But you want I don't know, a longhorn holding the American flag while drinking a beer and a cowboy standing up saying America? Like, find literally anyone else. Oh.
That's awesome. I mean, hey, you do honestly have to protect your passions. Like that yes. is key.
And I think also with this argument, it's not like I've never not done commissions. I've done commissions so many times. And I think you've even seen like me on my Instagram. Like I try to put out and be like, oh, hey, y'all help me do this contest. Like, what do y'all want to see? What does this want to see? When I do it for me, I can get through the whole entire contest. When I start doing it for other people, let me tell you, I will shut down immediately and you will not get art from me for months.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel that you go through highs, lows, dry spells of creativity?
Constantly.
What's that feeling like? I know what it is like for me, but I'm curious more like what it is for you, especially because you went for such a long time, like what, 4 years, going through with like periods of, like you said earlier, periods of just not creating at all.
Yeah, that's, it feels, okay, I don't even know how to put this. So in those 4 years, I was very fulfilled in my love life. So that's created like creativity to me in its own thing, like pouring into this man, pouring into his home, pouring into his family, he had kids, pouring into his kids. Like that was a creative outlet for me. So it's not that I wasn't being creative, just people weren't seeing the creative process of it. There was so much more that I was doing that just people weren't seeing. And like I said, there was no physical canvas coming from it. But a couple times a year, like I'd write poetry or for his birthday, I'd do like an art piece or something for him. For his kids, I'd draw for them. Like just a lot of stuff wasn't being posted. And then I don't think I really have any issues until I look back and I'm like, dang, I didn't draw at all. Or like now looking back, of course, like, we ended poorly. And so, now I'm just like, golly, like I'm, I know what I was building. I know what I was putting my energy into, but now that project, that art, that's gone. So it's like now pouring back into myself. And I feel like that's kind of my highs and lows. I pour into something else thinking I'm going to get a reward or thinking this is the art piece I want to give into. And then if that fails or if that's whatever, or sometimes it does complete. Like sometimes I pour into something and it does fully complete and I'm happy with that. And then now I get to move on to the next. But yeah, I mean, looking back, I'm just like, wow, like I do know like I was physically exerting myself in a lot of different directions. And so I know that there was a level of stress there, like physical stress on my body that was keeping me from creating. And I think that takes a toll on any creative because sometimes you just want to draw. Like sometimes you just want to like have an art piece. And there would be things that I wanted to start and couldn't finish and just didn't feel like the desire to finish or just wasn't having that creative juice flow. Like poetry I couldn't finish and
Hmm.
it it sucks.
Yeah.
But coming off of it, I think there's one thing that fuels me. And let me tell you, heartbreak has always been something that fuels me. And like it jumpstarts that creativity. Like it's like nothing kickstarts my creativity more than heartbreak. And I don't know why that is, but it's like, oh, hey, baby, you're back. Let's go.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just showing me that I need to be single for a while so I can focus on my art. Because let me tell you, it's been a long time coming.
Dang. We don't need you to be single and just, we need you to figure out how to channel like in love Courtney with creative Courtney.
She can write some dope poetry, and Love Courtney writes some dope poetry. I have to give her that.
Okay.
And
Well,
I think the thing with being in love and being able to create, because let me tell you, there was creativity and stuff going on um prior to our breakup that I was enjoying, but there was also a lot more freedom in those years of our relationship where he was working, I was working, there was a lot of trust, a lot of like understanding, like there was no like you have to be here. There was a lot less push and pull.
mhm.
Once we started talking about kids and marriage, that push and pull got really really heavy, and I think that's where it was like, okay, got to focus on home.
Wow.
And so I think when that freedom went away, so did my creativity.
Mm.
And I think that sucks because I
Yeah.
think that had, and I honestly think like, where we were, we easily could have created, a home and a family and everything like that. But I think his anxieties, and he had this idea in his head, and whenever it wasn't like how he wanted it to look and it wasn't conventional like he wanted it to be, it scared him. And so he started demanding more from me. And it's like, dang, we were together for 11 years and
What? I
you've
didn't know that.
there was like a 2-year intermission, but where we didn't speak. But yeah, I mean, in total, like we've known each other 11 years. And so
Gee.
to know that we've never had that anxious dynamic and then turn around and all of a sudden it's, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do this, you don't do this. It was like, oh shoot. I was, don't get me wrong, like focused on us, but also being able to focus on my creativity side, my art, my everything. And that's kind of where, in my mind, the love flourished because we both gave each other that freedom.
Yeah.
So when we started having demands, or he started demanding stuff from me, it was kind of like a shock, like, okay, well, let me do that then. Let me focus on this stuff. Let me show you that we can do that. And then I'll put art, like I will happily put art on the back burner to create this. That's fine with me. And then I'll be able to get back to it because, once the baby's here and once home is organized and everything, then I'll be able to be a creative again.
Did you feel did you feel like that was a piece of yourself like dying? Having to
Pretty,
like putting yourself putting yourself, I guess, second, like putting your creative side, the artist that you are, aside for the human being who's in love.
not at the time. I think what, okay, God. I think what made me feel like I was dying more than anything, like, let me tell you, I am the biggest like sucker for love. Like I love love. Like there is not really anything that I wouldn't do. And to me, there is nothing too great to sacrifice for love. Like when I tell you I'm a lover girl at heart, I'll probably never mention this out loud again. You will never get this out of me again. But there is really nothing that I wouldn't put. There's nothing that I'm sorry, there's nothing that I would put above love. However, the when he started killing my creative side by taking away my freedom, that felt like I was like piece of me was dying, because I was just like, crap, like we've always had our freedom, we've always had this trust, we've always had this like base of a friendship, and now you're tripping. Like
Yeah,
you're actually tripping. Like
of
what are
course.
we doing? And it was stupid stuff that I'm just like, I'm a very like routine oriented person, and I like to know what's going to happen. I like to know whatever. So, I mean, even little things, this sounds so bad on my end, but I'm just going to go out and say it. But like, even like making phone calls,
Mm-hmm.
that was like, I'm like, crap, what am I supposed to like? And then, you know, if I was on FaceTime and I just wasn't like giving him all my attention, you're not even talking to me. And I'm like, we have never talked on the phone in 10 years. Like, we talk on the phone, but I'm just like, we live together.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want me to say when I'm like, yeah, I went to work today. I'm tired. I've just dealt with 500 people. Now I'm in bed and I'm tired. I have to get up at 5 a.m. to go back to work. You just got off of work. It's now 12 a.m. I'm trying to make this phone call for you so that way you don't say, get mad at me for not calling you tonight. But now I'm not getting any sleep. And then the next day comes and I've worked a 15-hour duty day trying to call you. You can't talk because you're doing your job. And then you finally get off at 3 a.m. and you're calling me and you're like, you're not talking again.
At
See,
3
you never
a.m.
want to talk to me. And I'm just like, what?
That's wild.
But so let me tell you, like, I felt very, very, very fulfilled for, you know, we got back together in 2020. 2021, more or less. But I felt very, very, very fulfilled those first like 3.5 years.
Mm.
Those last 6 months are for the fucking birds. I felt like I was dying.
Yeah, I can only imagine. You know, there's a podcaster. He used to be a pastor. His name is Tim Ross. He wrote a book. He's amazing. His book's called Welcome to the Basement. Amazing pastor, amazing podcaster. Anyway, he talks about how you need to die to yourself. Like every relationship, you must die to yourself. And it seems as if you were dying to yourself literally because you were giving up the thing that you brought you the most enjoyment outside of love, which was your creativity. But your partner, on the other hand, was not dying to themselves, was only demanding more and more and more and more.
I mean, well, yeah, I mean, this man was so money hungry. If it wasn't money, he wasn't about it. And it sucks because I just don't feel like that's who he is to his core. But I think when his job changed, it became an obsession for him. And I think that I guess him dying to himself was no, because he never gave up the money.
No,
the money is what at the end ended the relationship. I was too comfortable being poor. But we were no way poor. He was in no way poor.
Sure.
I'm in no way poor. But he did not like my stance on I could give two shits if I live in a box or a shack.
Yeah.
Or I could live wherever. Like, as long as I have my community, my people, and I'm happy, I'm happy. So, no, I guess you're right. Like, he did not. What was the term again?
Die to self. He didn't die to himself.
Die to self. No.
Because, like, when you truly, the way Tim Ross describes it, when you truly love somebody, it's not like making concessions, but you literally are giving up a portion. Like, if you're upset about something, you're like, you know what? I can take a pause. I can take a beat on this and just say, you know what? Hey, I love you. You're right. We'll try it. We'll do it your way. Or, I mean, whatever the case may be, because it takes a real true quality person to end up killing their wants and their needs and their desires, especially when you're trying to project that on somebody else. Like it takes you really dying to yourself and killing that part of yourself to say, I love this person so much. I want to make them happy and make them fulfilled in the thing that they feel most comfortable in love. And if that's you living in a box, but you're doing your art, amazing. We've done it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's fair. I actually really like that. I like that term, dying to yourself.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's literally what you have to do. You subconsciously didn't even know you were doing it.
No, I was definitely focused on home. But once again, there is creative fulfillment in that. I mean, I definitely feel like I could do it again. It's not going to happen anytime soon. But
hear that, fellas? She's not on the market.
That is, yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm in a place now. I'm on such a high in the sense of like creating. I can't imagine dying to myself again right now.
And see, the thing is, I don't think you have to die to yourself to follow your creative passion. I think that I can only speak for you because we're just having this conversation. I've died to myself for my art in the pursuit of trying to be with someone else, and it sucked, and it ultimately ruined a good solid few years of my creativity. But for you, I think that when you find that right person, the right person will literally just go, "Hey, babes, you do what makes you happy. If creating art, I'm going to support you doing this 1,000,000%. If I got to get 2 jobs just so you follow your passion, great. I got you."
See, but so my question to you is, you know, when you're in a relationship, don't you feel like you need kind of free, like when you're in your creative space, what does that look like? Can you have people around you? Can you, you know, conjure up these ideas and execute these ideas while in the presence of, I mean, it's so, well, here, dang, that's so hard because I don't know how to ask it because you do have kids.
Mm-hmm.
But even in like the presence of, dang, well, even just being a dad, like how do you balance that? Because you're a full-time dad.
Yep. So thankfully, both my kids are creatives, so they get it. My youngest daughter, she is a photographer just like me. She loves it. That's what she wants to do with her life. She wants to shoot stuff.
I love that.
My oldest daughter, she's like you. She got an iPad for Christmas. We got her Procreate. She's just been going crazy. She's going ham, and she wants to be she wants to be an animator and a voiceover artist. That's what she wants to do with her life.
Love that.
She's already got her plan mapped out of what she wants to do with her life, and like I'm grateful that she found that. She's been drawing on paper for years. Now she has the digital tablet. She's
and she can take it anywhere. Oh,
she can. She can, but see, the thing is, she likes drawing on paper. She'll take like the little small sketchbooks and carry around just a pencil and just doodle.
See, that's amazing. And that speaks like huge volumes to like, you know, you as a parent, because to have that you're giving your daughters freedom to be in that creative zone. And so I think that's where it's like finding a partner. I think I would need to find another creative so I could have that freedom, because I feel like when you're with someone who's not a creative, an artist of sorts,
mm-hmm.
They don't understand that silence. They don't understand that reclusion that comes from like, and it's crazy because whenever him and I first got together, you know, we could sit in silence all day. Like we could just be in, I call it parallel play.
Mm-hmm.
But like he could be doing his own thing on his video games. I could be doing my own thing. Like we could be in complete silent bliss.
Yeah.
Towards the end, no, we couldn't. But also, you know, with, you know, having like his kids weren't necessarily creatives. They were athletes. So it's like taking them to sports, taking them to school, taking them to do whatever. And so it's just like, it was a constant thing and the house was kind of chaotic. So like, you know, there was always a task to do. So once again, that's how creativity gets pushed to the side. And, you know, I think like, I think if he was the partner for me, what would have really happened, you know, if somebody who respected my creativity, he would have been like, yo, go hide in your tunnel. Go hide in your garage. I got this tonight. Yeah. I got somebody else cooking. I got somebody else doing whatever. Like, I'm going to keep everybody away from you. You go create. You go do that. Like, but he never did that. Never did that.
He very well could. He very well could have. He had the
Yeah.
means to do so, but again, I don't know. You
So-
know, I think you said being with another creative, that to me that's a very slippery slope, just because now you're talking about, we were talking about selfishness earlier, you're talking about selfishness again. That person's like, you got to create the other day. It's been 3 weeks and I haven't been able to put pen to paper. Like, what?
I think that
Nigga, stop, please. Nigga, please.
I think
oh my
that's
God.
where, you know, you have to have, you have to have a bond where like y'all create together. Cause let me tell you, like, I don't know. But when it comes and it works, it'll just work. There's no
For
plan
sure.
in this crap. But
You are 100% right. When the right person comes and the right energy and the right vibes happen, you just know.
right. And the art will still thrive. Like the
Absolutely.
art will thrive. The home will thrive. The creative energy will thrive. That's what's important.
Facts.
In whatever place we're putting it.
Yep. And you'll literally just be the very best that you can be in that moment.
100%.
And your art's and the thing is, not just you, but both of your art will thrive and be better off for it.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a supportive partner.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And support just looks different. I think, it's, once again, support. I think people need to know how to support a creative.
I would agree, because I mean that. I don't know. Have you ever seen this show? And this sounds really trashy and cringy. Have you ever seen the show called The Ultimatum?
My best friend watches it. Yeah.
Did they watch?
I know the premise of it. Like,
okay.
Have I watched it? Really, no. But I do understand. Like, it's couples that are together, come in, they want to do the ultimatum.
Yeah.
And then they're forced to date other people and then come back to each other and decide what they want.
Yep. So this past season, I watched it. So this past season, this gentleman, his name was Nick or something. He's an artist, and he was the one who gave the girl the ultimatum, and he was so in his head about everything about their relationship. His art was suffering, and then when he sees her with this other person, he just begins to spiral. So, because again, and then when they after the ultimatum, when they swapped back, she just couldn't support him because, I don't know, she just couldn't. But they had dated 2.5 years, so it was just a weird thing. Like you made mention of not knowing how to support a creative. Most people don't.
No, I think it's such a weird. You're successful creative people, or, you know, destined successive, just people who are passionate about their creativity. They're a weird bunch. Like, I feel like a lot of us are introverts with extroverted qualities.
I can see it.
The processes in which we discover art or create art is usually in a sense of like manic, like a manic episode. Like, let me tell you, when I'm creating, like, there is a level of like, I'm just like, my brain is completely shut off to the world, and I am pretty much just like going on autopilot. Like, I am almost manic. Like, I feel like if I could guess what a bipolar manic episode looks like, I'd feel like it'd be me in my creative process. Like, don't ask me for nothing. Like, I am completely useless for the day. Like, and how do you explain why you haven't texted back? Or how do you explain how, like, please don't call me. Please don't put me in another zone, because I am so in it right now, and I am so blinders to everything else. And all I can think about and focus on is this project. If I was to answer my call, I'd be completely out of it. And there's a chance that I will never finish this project again. Mm-hmm. And I know it's so selfish, and there's something that I can train there to be better about that. But it's like, I promise you, I'm not doing anything but sitting and painting on this floor with my dog. Like, there is nothing else going on right now.
Yeah. You know what? I can resonate with that, because especially when I like take photos and I actually really like them and I get to editing them, I will lock in for, I'm talking 8 hours.
Hours. You look up and you're just like, oh fuck, what time is it?
Exactly.
Have I eaten? And
That
let me tell you,
part.
I love food. There is not a minute that goes by that I don't think about food. And when I'm sitting here and I'm just like, oh, I haven't eaten in like 8 hours.
Yep.
Oh, I need to check my phone. Oh, I need to. But let me finish this real quick.
I see. I'm right there with you because I can sit. My kids they'll do whatever, and I'll just be sitting and I'm working, and then all of a sudden I look up. I'm like, oh shit, it's 11 o'clock. Oh,
are y'all in bed? Y'all are good for school?
No,
y'all?
they are not. They are not in bed. They are. They're like, no one told us to go to bed, so it's just going to be just what it is. I'm like, what? You know what time bedtime is?
Oh my god!
But
and I'm so keyed in on my, like, once again, I'm a routine person. I'm so keyed in on that process. I'll make sure I'm taken care of. So like in the morning, I'll have everything set up. I've already gone to the gym. I've already taken Dot to the park. I've already gone to the grocery store. I've cooked or meal prepped something. Mm-hmm. So when the whole rest of the day is spent creating, everyone around me should be taken care of. Food is in the fridge. Everything's fully stocked. Everything's fully cooked. I've had my workout, so I'm not going to be a bitch. Like, we're all good.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm in that zone.
You're locked in.
I'm locked in.
And it's literally like it's like you have blinders on and you have like noise canceling headphones on. It's like that. Like, at least I feel like that.
The noise canceling headphones is so real because I don't hear anything. Like,
Same.
I truly, truly, truly don't hear anything. And don't let me have like a playlist on, like a dope playlist.
It's a wrap.
I'm dead to the world. I might as well be dead.
It's a wrap. What do you need a phone for? Like, come on.
No. Mm-mm. And then half the time my phone's in a whole different room, unless I'm using it for like a reference picture.
Really?
Yeah. Let me tell you, I am like, I think that's why swapping over to having to call every day, I was like, is my phone even charged? Is it on? Because if I'm not at work, I'm not on my phone. Like, the only time you'll see me on my phone is like if I'm on a jump seat. Like, don't get me wrong, like a couple days, like you'll catch me like doom scrolling TikTok or whatever. But if I'm in a creative space, no, I don't know where my phone is. Like, it is, or it's just reference pictures. I have everything on Do Not Disturb, and I'm just looking at reference photos.
Dang.
And it is not charged. I actually have 50% today.
Well.
That is progress.
Have you charged it at all? It was just on the first charge.
No. I've had to charge it. I've had to charge it today because I by the time I went to the gym, it was only at 30%.
Okay. I was just curious. I was like,
yeah,
50.
No.
I can burn through 50% just Instagram scrolling.
Don't get me wrong. TikTok can get me. If there is one thing that's been getting me with that stupid phone, it is TikTok doom scrolling, baby. TikTok. I'm laughing or crying or just learning something.
Not the crying off of TikTok.
All the time.
There
was a guy on TikTok today in the LA fires. He saved a bunny.
Oh, that's sweet. That's admirable.
And he's like, right. It was cute. But he tries to go for the bunny the first time, and the bunny like takes off running into the fire, and he's like, no. And he's like panicking. And then the rabbit comes back and he's like, oh, and he's like grabbing it, and tears immediately. Freaking waterworks. Like, animals get me every single time. Dogs get me every single time.
Of course, you're an animal lover. I mean, you have dogs and snakes and
a cat.
Do you have a cat too?
Yeah, she's at my parents' house. My parents fell in love with her, and so therefore, and she loves being outside. She's also the coolest cat you'll ever meet in your entire life. I know everyone says that, but like literally, like she's a dog in a cat's body, but she's also like a ragdoll cat. So you can like pick her up and make her do anything. Like, and she'll just be like, okay, this is great.
What's the cat's name?
Tuffy.
Tuffy. Okay.
Oh, my dog's like looking around now. She's like, where's my sister?
Where is Tuffy?
Data, you know Tuffy? Come here.
Oh, we get a rare appearance from Dot.
Oh, come on, bring them stretches, girl.
Dot's the best dog.
She really is.
Dot,
Nothing.
man, I love watching like her because Dot has her own Instagram. She just
She
something
was
else.
like,
but like when she runs up the trees and stuff, I'm like,
she's cool.
My God.
Let me tell you, she scares the crap out of people though whenever they see it, because they're just like, well, you can't hide from that one.
No. She's a German Shepherd?
German Shepherd Malinois mix.
Yeah, see, that's that kind of dog that's gonna bite and ain't gonna let go.
She actually got bit by something, so she's been really itchy.
Oh no.
I don't know what it was, but it swelled her up.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's like, I'm here making my podcast appearance.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. She has to.
Have to. I mean, it's a must.
Right.
I think we talked about everything. Creativity, artist, your love. We had a whole, I don't know when it turned into a love life podcast, but we went love life.
My bad.
Nah, not your bad. I mean, hey, it worked because like it literally went in line with your creativity about killing yourself. And maybe I hope that resonates with someone who's going through that same situation and is like, huh. And makes them just reevaluate and rethink their current situation.
Yeah, know what you're getting into and know what your sacrifices are and if they're worth it.
Love is worth it. Love is for the right person is worth it.
Real love is worth it.
That part. Well, I mean, you had real love, but in the end, it wasn't worth it.
No, correct.
But correct. You know, real love. You're right. Real love is worth it. But
no, yeah.
Not
and then heartbreak is really worth it because let me tell you, nothing. Thousands of poems now.
I bet. I
have like a book ready to go out at this point.
I almost said his name. You just need to be like, this is a blankety blank book. This is, nigga, read this. This is about you.
Slam.
All of it.
Right.
Let's just have a slam. Let's just have a slam poetry night.
That would be great. Go get y'all. Let me know. Next podcast, we'll do slam poetry. Get a bunch of poetry people on here. We'll start going.
We surely could. We can
verse for verse.
Boy, who are you kidding? Man, them people would be like, what? I hate this guy with my guts. That's about as far as I got.
Too bad he just likes fake butts.
I love it.
Oh,
you're gonna snap that. Yeah, see? We goofy with it. I love it. Let's wrap this thing up. If the people, while you're in Indonesia, if you want to come back and support my friend Courtney Bighorse, she doesn't do commissions, people. So we already talked about it. Sucks for you. But if you want to buy some of her art, I don't know if she's going to sell it to you.
I sell prints. Well, I mean, if you have cool character combinations, because once again, we got the mashups. So if you got any cool characters that you think would look good mashed up, you can go ahead and send those my way. Can make those fun things happen. I need some ideas. That's a project that's never over.
See, there you go. But if you want to follow her and support her journey, go ahead and plug yourself. Tell them where they can find you.
At OHMYMISAE. That is Oh My Masay. Somebody just like
Dot was like, yep, that's it. Certified.
God, chill out.
I love it. Doc's like, nah, I'm protecting moms. I don't know who it is, but I'm protecting moms.
It was probably the wind from this frigid weather.
Hey, we already talked about it. We love our frigid weathers. You mermaids, you about to go to Indonesia, so.
It won't be frigid there.
Sure won't be. Count me jealous. I want to go.
No, keep your cold weather. You love it so much.
I do, and I'm going to keep it. But, you know, a nice vacation to Indonesia, to Bali, to Jakarta. I mean,
Raja Ampat.
That place. You know, hey, I mean, hey, if they want to, if Portugal was hot, Brazil sounds amazing.
Brazil
Summer
is
down.
phenomenal.
Really?
Coxinha all day. Oh my gosh. If you ever go to Brazil, go get you some coxinha.
Some of that cheese bread?
No, that's pau de queijo. I think that's how you
Oh,
say it.
yeah. Pão de
No, but
queijo.
pau de queijo. But coxinha, uh, it is like this little, it looks like a teardrop. It looks like
Oh,
this.
okay. Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
stuffed
Okay.
with chicken.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. I'm learning Portuguese. So
Oh,
I'm like having to I was like, I know this word. But it's like kind of fried on the outside.
yes.
Yeah.
It's so stinking good. That's the only word you need to know.
I kind of need to know I need to know
No,
more.
no. You just say coxinha, and then you
Coxinha.
let them bring
Coxinha.
it to you. Let them bring it
Over
to
and
you.
over.
Take you to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll have to I one of my goals is I would like to have a house in Florianopolis, Brazil.
Ooh.
Yes, it's by the beach.
You should definitely do that.
Mm-hmm. I have the dreams. We'll talk about it later. I have dreams, big lofty dreams. But yeah,
We're here for supporting them.
woo! Appreciate
Woo!
it. Everybody, go follow my friend Courtney Bighorse. Oh my Missay on Instagram. She's always doom scrolling on TikTok, but go follow her everywhere. Support her journey. Because we want to like encourage and be a supportive people.
Yeah.
That's what we
And
want.
I follow back. I love creative people too. So
Only if you're creative. If you're not creative, don't hit follow. Well, I mean, follow her, but she ain't gonna hit follow back.
I might. You never know.
You never know. That's how love happens.
Woo.
Ooh. All right.
Woo.
Well, we're not there. We're not there yet. We're not for love yet.
We're not there yet.
Not yet. Soon. Got to start our healing journey first. But
Yes.
also remember, if you break her heart, you will end up in a poem.
You will end. Yeah, you'll end up in a poem and you'll end up as art because we've gotten both of those already.
And maybe in a landfill because, you know, her daddy don't play.
Burn it.
Burn
Ashes
it to the
in
ground.
the air, baby.
That's her tribe don't play games either. They coming for you.
Oh, spiritually, baby. They don't play no games.
Hey, we like it. Courtney, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. This was amazing.
I miss talking to you, Byron. You have a good one.
I miss talking to you too. Everybody, we'll talk next week. It's going to be amazing. My guest next week, I promise you, you're going to enjoy that one. All right. Love you guys. Peace.
See y'all.